Saturdays on the road. 30 days on the road. Oh, yeah. All right, all right, all right, all right. Hey. All right, all right, all right, all right. Yeah. All right, all right, all right.
Pulled into Effingham about 3:20 a.m. I'm at a Love's station, gas station. They have a lounge here, Truckers Lounge, and across the street there's the TAs. So I take my choice when I pull into Effingham, and this is a place I go a lot. I've probably taken this route up 57 a few hundred times in my life, up and back. But anyway, yeah, I'm showing you pictures of nothing. But anyway, so just got a combination of TV and Joni Mitchell on the radio. Go ahead, man. Yeah, nothing important going on here. No, nothing important. Middle of the night stuff. But just want to let you know, and so I'll be sacking out for tonight. But, anyway, here you go. Okay, it's June 28th, about 12:15 p.m., a little afternoon. Got some decent sleep. I've been up about 45 minutes now. Cleaned up a bit, and I actually a couple corrections from my last report. This is not a Love's, this is a Flying J. Flying J. And across the street is a TA's that I'll sometimes go to. And anyway, they're in the same company. They're in cahoots, conglomerately owned. And the other thing, I think I mentioned there was a Joni Mitchell song playing while I walked into the Truckers Lounge. And it wasn't Joni Mitchell. It was somebody that wannabe Joni Mitchell sounding person. I don't know what the band name was or whatever. And then today, ironically, I ran into another Joni Mitchell song when I was in the cleaning up in the jaunt. It was a Big Yellow Taxi, but it wasn't Joni Mitchell. It was the other guy that did a cover of it. So I'm channeling Joni Mitchell as I drive, I guess. I don't think she'd be doing this, or maybe she had done this in her younger days. Tonight is I'm going to an open mic. It's a really cool open mic at the Village Wine Bar, and I'm actually going to stop first for an open mic briefly at Effing Brew. What a great name! We're in Effingham. It's the Effing Brew. They actually brew their own stuff. Brew their own beer, and it's a restaurant kind of thing. So, but I'll be playing there. Actually, we'll be visiting there a couple times. So I'm just going to check in and do a little, maybe play a couple tunes there before I head over to the Village Wine. And they're right across the street from each other. They're in this mini little downtown. Effingham's like a very small city, and it's been growing little by little. And it's a crossroads, I-70 and I-57. Lots of truckers, obviously, in this area. So there's more than these two truck stops. There's probably 2 or 3 more around the area here. And anyway, this has always been a good stop on the way up. If I'm power driving up to Chicago, if I can make it this far. Lots of times I'll just stop here and sleep and then move on to Chicago. Anyway, tonight at the Village Wine. Looking forward to it. Well, I just pulled in here. I'm in Effingham still, and This place I get to work out at, it's a complex, sports complex. I don't know if you can read anything around here, but I come here to get a shower. There's no LA Fitnesses in Effingham, of course. So I use this facility. I'm just trying to park in here. Waiting for that guy to pass through. So yeah, it's you pay. I guess it's a community. I don't know if it's city run or if it's a private thing or whatever. But you pay $10. You can use the facility. Don't matter who the hell you are. I just walk in. Don't need to show an ID. And yeah, so I'm gonna get. It's a good place to get if you want to take a shower at the Flying J. They're charging like $14-15 just for a damn shower. So this is good place to get my head back together and get on a treadmill, do things, work, do a little weights and stuff. So I try to do that while I'm on the road as well. Keep alive. So Workman, it's called a Workman facility or something. Well, it's good to get a workout in, especially on the road. Kind of makes you mindless when you're driving and you get fog brain, and it helps getting some sweating and a little movement and a good shower. And I'm actually right by I-57 here. It's like most of the activities pretty close to the highway, except unless you go downtown in Effingham. So that's I-57. And actually, there's when I come to town here, I usually try to find the salad place, McAllister's Deli. It actually has all different kinds of stuff, but it's a pretty good salad place. Whenever I get a chance, I try to grab stuff like that fresh. It's hard to keep anything fresh. I usually keep some sandwich stuff in the car and some Slim Jims or jerky or things that don't spoil too easily, especially in the summertime. It's actually hot here. It's mid to upper 80s, not too bad, but it's very dry, so it's like very bearable. It's like kind of a nice day. Good day to get sun and that. But it's about 5:15. I'm heading in here to grab some salad at McAllister's and then head downtown and check out some of the scene for tonight. So I will check in from there.
Where I live, Panama, Illinois. Anybody from that neighborhood? Okay. Do you remember wrestling at the Chase?
Oh, yeah. KSDK.
Yeah.
Channel 5.
Saturday nights. Sam what's name?
Dick the Bruiser.
Dick the Bruiser.
Ooh.
Anybody else got a name?
British Bulldogs?
Yes, British Bulldogs. Buddy Rogers, yeah. Well, there's a guy in Panama, used to have friends to his house. And they would watch wrestling at the Chase on Saturday nights. Well, of course, that ran over into Sunday morning. So, since they were there on Sunday morning, he decided, well, this is the early service.
Amen.
At the First Church of the Last Chance. So. This is a song Mongo. Mongo was the host and the minister, and he collected the collection, whatever it is. At the First Church of the Last Chance, angels in white pants got me thinking about a romance. Put $1 in the jukebox, play one slow dance. Mary had a little lamb, was born in Bethlehem. Come down to save all men, First Church at the very last chance. No stained glass will be found, just a hat to pass around. A buck or two for a friend to stand, fix their broken dreams. Truth be told, there will of eyes. Sad stories make you cry. First church of the very last chance. At the first church of the last chance, angels in white pants. I'm thinking about a romance. Put a nickel in the jukebox and play one slow dance. Mary had a little lamb, born in Bethlehem. Come down to save all men. First church of the very last chance. If you need a place to rest, get something off your chest. Let the whiskey do your talking. Tell the truth you can't confess. No one here to judge your sin, what you done or where you been. Oh, we're all the same, the shape we're in. First church of the very last chance. At the first church of the last chance, angels in tight pants. Thinking about a romance. Put a dollar in the jukebox, play one slow dance. Mary had a little lamb, born in Bethlehem. Come down to save all men. First church of the very last chance. Cricket sign hangs on the gate. Party here tonight at 8. There's a band to play, songs to sing. Hang around and meet the king. And I hope the love that you might find will bring you lasting peace of mind. Feel free to come back anytime. First church of the very last chance. At the first church of the last chance, angels in white pants. I'm thinking about a romance. Put a dollar in the jukebox and play one slow dance. Mary had a little lamb, born in Bethlehem. Come down to save all men. First church of the very last chance. Mary had a little lamb, born in Bethlehem. Come down to save all men. First church of the very last chance.
Curly-headed baby, my daddy sat me down upon his knee. He said, son, you go to school to learn your letters. Don't you be no dusty miner like me. And I was born and raised in the mouth of the hazard holler. When coal cars roll past my door. Now they stand in a rusted row all empty. Cause the yelling men don't stop here anymore. No, 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 sir, the yelling men don't stop here anymore. Well, I used to think my daddy was a black man with script enough to buy a company store. Now he walks to town with empty pockets, his face as white as the February snow. And I was born and raised in the mouth of the hazard holler. Coal cars roll past my door. Now they stand in the rusty rows all empty. Cause the yelling men don't stop here anymore. No, 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 the yelling men don't stop here anymore. Well, I never thought I'd learn to love coal dust. I never thought I'd pray to hit a temple. But now I wish the grass would turn to money. Greenbacks fill my pocket once more. Lord, I was born and raised in the mouth of the hazard holler. The coal cars roll past my door. Now they stand in the rusty rows all empty. Cause the yelling don't stop here anymore. No, 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 sir.
last night I dreamed I went down to the office. I was gonna get my payday like I done before, because the vines were blowing through the doorway, trees and grass growing right up through that floor. I was born and raised in the mouth of a hazard holler, with a coke car roll past my door. And now they stand in a rusty rows all empty, was yelling and don't stop here anymore. No, 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 so they're yelling, stop here anymore. No, no, they're yelling and don't stop here anymore. Thank you very much. This is Gene Ritchie's song.
Actually, just got done with the open mic over at the Village Wine. There's the Effing Brew where I was a little bit earlier. I played a few tunes, met some people, talked to them about coming to my show here, and I'm going to be there next Friday. I got to come back. I'm going up to Chicago and coming back down. And then actually, this is the Village Wine across the street, so it's kind of a happening little area. There's some interesting, good-looking people on the porch. And we played in a room in the back over there, and sometimes they go up on the roof, and they got a nice area up on the roof that works out when it's beautiful. It's actually beautiful weather. It's a gorgeous night here in Effingham, probably about 70 degrees right now, 72, and it's about 10 o'clock at night, and it was almost 90 today. So, and we're coming around. The police here, Effingham police, just passed us by. He probably said, "What's this guy doing, taking pictures of everybody?" And so from the NSA, man, I'm looking into everybody's shit. Anyway, yeah, good night. Everybody's kind of outside on the. We didn't do actually very well as far as attendance at the open mic tonight, but I got a chance to play for some quality folks. And Bill Poss, who runs the thing, is a really interesting cat, and we had a good conversation. And hopefully along the way, maybe I'll get a chance to interview him. I don't think I'm going to be back this way. I'm not sure at the Village on a Wednesday. But anyway, that's kind of in downtown. If you go down here, there's some great venues. It's kind of like a 2 or 3 block radius. You look this way, it kind of ends about a block down. So it's about, they're just renovating this downtown. Was kind of deserted about, I'm guessing 10 years ago. It was fairly deserted. All this is kind of new. Build up, it's not build up. It's like they've taken over and renovating the old buildings. So not tearing anything down or building anything new really. So anyway, that's kind of what, and there's the van. It's holding up pretty good. And I'm going to go start heading back north and go up I-57. And so report later. Well, wound up in Madison, spelled Matteson, Illinois. It's like a far south suburb. I'm at the, they're in the conversion stage of LA Fitness to East Border, so they're kind of both right now, I suppose. This is a stop for me on my way up into Chicago. Probably about 25 miles south of Chicago proper. Anyway, so I did stop and sleep in Gilman, Illinois, at a Pilot. I pulled over about an hour south of here, and I'm working my way into the city. I'm probably going to get into Tinley Park. But anyways, the parking lot, wonderful parking lot that they have here. So Madison, it's a suburb, but it's a small city that wound up becoming a suburb, as you might expect, to being this far south. As Chicago grew out and kind of expanded. I'm kind of heading toward Tinley Park. A friend of mine is playing at a restaurant there tonight, so I might kill some time and get over there tonight. So it's Thursday. It is the 30th. I think yesterday I reported it was the 28th, but yesterday was the 29th. Today is the 30th. I'm trying to chronicle here, but I'm not good. I'm not good at my dates sometimes. We're going into July tomorrow. July 1st is actually my first real gig with Marlon in Chicago, and so I'm looking forward to that. Well, I'm in Tinley Park now. It wasn't very far from Madison at all. It was maybe about 2 miles, something like that. This is kind of uncharted territory for me. I've never been down this far south. I've been down this far south, but not in this area. And I'm noticing another LA Fitness way in the distance there. So if I do come this way again, I know that it's there. But I actually came for the purpose of going to L's Italian beef joint. Chicago's #1 Italian beef. You know, I've never been to L's before. It's a small chain in Chicago. I've been to a lot of beef places. I'll probably go to another one. I would imagine maybe even a couple in this trip. But I'm going to check out L's. South side, way far south side L's. I don't know where their other locations are, but I have heard of them. So we're going to check it out. Well, I'm inside L's here. Here's their menu. And looks like a pretty solid, typical beef joint menu. They got the Vienna beef. So that's an umbrella. I actually got one of those when I was with the American Ave, when I was serving Vienna hot dogs. I got a hold of one of those umbrellas. I never used it, but I still got it in my house. And anyway, this is kind of interesting. I don't know if you can read that. I got the fan in the way, but that's kind of an interesting... I'm reading it as you are. Yeah, kind of like a counter service, but they got tables and chairs here. This is kind of the layout. Very good. The staff back there working real hard, bumping out the beefs or whatever else. So I'm gonna order something. I think I'm gonna get a combo. It's about 3:15. It's a good time to start eating. And it's a good way to eat. So this is the L's beef. Well, actually, a combo. I got a combo with sweet. That's what that's called. And that's what it looks like before I eat it. I'm going to eat it. Looks good. And, yeah. No, I just finished consuming that combo sandwich from L's Italian beef. All jacked up now, ready to enjoy a wild afternoon in Tinley Park, Illinois. Don't expect much, I suppose, but it's pretty much from what I know. I mean, I've been down through here maybe a couple times in my life, but never really stopped. And I don't know where I'm going to hang out. Kind of kill a little bit of time. And my friend Kristen Rose Kelly is playing at Baracco's, which is an Italian restaurant, more Italian stuff, for tonight. But I think 7 o'clock, I'm going to try to make a set or two of that. And then keep forging my way into the city little by little. So, yeah, wish me luck. Okay, we're here at Baracco's, and we got the roadie here. Joe's the roadie for this big show that's coming up here on the porch. We're outside. It's a beautiful night here in Orland Park. We're actually in Orland Park, Illinois. Another one of those park suburbs that we get confused with all the time. And this is the star of the show, Kristen Rose Kelly. She's also a part of the road crew as well, as we all are. We're all our rock star thing. So anyway, this is the beginning of the setup, and I was lucky enough to get here for that. And I'll take some of the show as we go and get back with you. Well, Kristen's almost ready to start, but we're going to take a little view of her wares here. She sells these wonderful, well, obviously CDs, and then these pick earrings. Those are kind of really nice. I like that. Yeah. We'll get people flocking to your gigs just to buy this shit. And the fancy shawl thing for sale too. This kind of like that. $30 for that. Okay. And how about this little pink carnation deal in there too? There's all kind of good stuff. So when you come out to a Kristen gig, you're going to see a lot of other stuff for sale. Kristen's not for sale. You could tip her heavily. Okay.
And I'm happy to be here. my name unheard. La 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 la. Happy going mad. Oh, this one sure, it can't be that bad. We'll make it work. And after all that's said and done, we'll make a way for everyone. Pieces of light collided through reflection. Oh, oh, magical visions on the road. It'll be okay, we're made to dream with no boundaries. And after all that's said and done, we'll make a way for everyone. Pieces of light collided through reflections on, oh, oh, magical visions on the road. Run and they run. Running through Bobby's mind, it's amazing. Rising like a star, as cute as laser rays. After all that's said and done, we'll make a way for everyone. Colorful lights that's banging on some velvet drums. Oh, oh, magical visions on the road. Running they run. After all that's said and done, I'll make a way for everyone. Colorful lights that's banging on some velvet drums. Oh, oh, magical sounds stay on the road.
Hey, it's break time at Baracco's. Food's been wonderful. Got a nice outdoor crowd here for Kristen's big show. Got a few other folks on this side here too. So gonna try to get another video of one of her tunes here. Becoming dusk here. It's the 30th of June. It's a Thursday night. And we'll be back with more music.
Letting go of everything that I've ever known. All the things ever said to be set in stone. Maybe I was a young girl, I could think that lost her mind in someone's kitchen sink. You count the shots you sober, still crying stiletto. You're just another number, tied in some pantyhose. Maybelline, I was born with those colors on. Cover girl, don't you know you have to cover your white world with that? Painting on names, there's all we see. The fake confidence is high class in society. You call this shots, it's sober, stuck high, stiletto. You're just another number, tied in some pantyhose. You are more than your face, your hair, body, and your clothes. More than some product for anyone to dispose. You count the shots, it's sober, stuck high in stiletto. You've got an inner power, but they'll never tell you so. Don't be a double standard. This is your life, you know. You're more than just a number. Don't need no pantyhose. And I don't know. You don't need
Well, left Morocco's and had a great time over there, and with Kristen and Joe, the roadie Joe. Roadie Joe is actually Joe Keys. He's the keyboard player with Kristen's band, and they do duets together. But that was a solo gig. He was just along for the roadie and company, whatever. But anyway, as we see, I'm showing you the Speedway sign here. This is the cheapest gas I think I'm going to get. I've been looking and seeing, and I got about half a tank. I was looking for somewhere to be the cheapest I could find around. Believe it or not, it's $5.49.9 for regular unleaded. E85 ain't much. I could put that in there, but it ain't much different. 50 cents. You get about 15 to 20% less gas mileage when you use the E85, so they don't charge that much less for it, especially in these days. But anyway, there you have it. Across the street is a White Castle. I don't know if you can see it. That semi's passing, but yeah, there it is, White Castle. I'm not going there tonight, but we will be checking out a White Castle, and of course Walgreens. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And I'm at a Speedway. Actually, where I'm staying tonight is it's only a few blocks away. It's a gas station. It's going to be a Pilot, but I know the price of the gas is going to be a lot higher over there. That's just the way it goes. I'll buy something else there to make it worth their while. And yeah, I'm going to check in pretty soon again, but I just thought I'd fill you in on the gas prices down here. This is the 30th of June, the end of June. And my finger keeps getting in the way when I do this thing, but that's the way it goes down. Just pulled into the Pilot, realized that the gas price is the same here, so I didn't. Usually it would be a little more expensive than down the block, but the world's changing. Anyway, yeah, just I figured I'd take a few minutes here. It's pretty early on a Thursday night. I'm going to hang out here. I usually go to bed pretty late, but it's a little after 10 p.m. on Thursday, the 30th of June. I'm not too far from the Chicago border. Harlem Avenue, which is where this is located, and Harlem is like one of the longest streets. It runs all the way from the north to the south through the suburbs. I can't tell you exactly where it starts or where it ends, but that Harlem Avenue and Cicero Avenue is another one that runs all the way through the city. Chicago's on a grid. It's on a very, very predictable grid. There's some suburbs that change addresses, some don't. I was all the way down on 183rd Street to, I think, 211th Street was when I was in Madison. Now we're about 70. So figure that was 211 South. We're at about 77 South. I think it's the 77th Street, 76. So the south side of Chicago, it starts at Madison Street, which runs right through the middle of downtown. And everything south of Madison starts with the numbered streets. Some aren't numbered, but most are numbered. But it's on a grid, north-south grid. And then everything north of there is north. So we're at 7700 South, basically, this pilot on Harlem Avenue. Harlem does run into the city. We're going to run up. I'm going to run up Harlem probably into the city. But right here, so we're still in the southwest burbs. It's a blue-collar suburb called Bridgeview. And I stay here a bunch when I take this trip. This is kind of a good south side, so I don't have to drive all the way up through the north side. It's quite a megalopolis, this city. But like I said, it's on a grid, north-south. And then east-west is mostly west because State Street is 0. So Madison and State are 0. And anything west of State Street, you start to buy. So where I grew up, it was 2400 north, 5800 west. And that's the way a lot of Chicago people will indicate to each other, where a location is for something, is by the grid. If you're from here, you understand that's the way it is. A lot of cities, I think, have similar, but Chicago is a pretty good example of a straight grid that works well for the city. And then there's diagonal streets, which is a whole different animal, but they help to spread traffic out. And it's still the traffic in the city is insane. Worse than Houston for my Houston friends. If you're watching this, it's very crazy. You can understand traffic. You figure like the west side of Houston, it's all over the city. It's like that here. There's no side streets to take shortcuts. I mean, I know all those shortcuts on the north side of Chicago and the west side and there are a few that you could take, but there aren't many. So anyway, what's going on tomorrow? I'll be cruising back up into the city, and that'll be the first actual on this trip of being in Chicago. We'll be kind of drifting through the suburbs here. Like I said, it was a great time I had down in, I was going to say Tinley Park, but that's where I thought it was originally, but it's Orland Park. There's a lot of park cities down there, just park, then there's Park Forest, and then there's Forest Park. So Forest Park's a place we're probably going to visit along this route. They used to have a lot of music in that town, and no more. There's still a little bit happening. So I'll probably stop in Forest Park sometime along the line. Also, tomorrow, obviously the gig I'll have is up towards the gig. It's kind of towards the airport on the northwest side. So if anybody's been through Chicago and you've been to O'Hare Airport, that general area, this is a little towards the city, the Kennedy Expressway, which is 94, or is it 90? Yeah, 90 runs out over to the airport out of downtown all the way up to there. So I'm going to spend a bunch of time in Chicago area, but it's a tour itself because there's so many areas in Chicago. There's, like I said, we just started on the south side. And then eventually going to make it over into Indiana, but I'm just going to cross the border for one gig in Dyer, Indiana, which is Northwest Indiana. People don't consider themselves Chicago people at all. I mean, they might follow the White Sox and the Bears and whatever. So, but they're Indiana folks, and they're proud of their section of Indiana, that northwest side of Indiana, northwest corner. And there's a lot going on. It's really, really good area. But we'll make it down there. Marlon's going to come with me. We're going to do a gig down there. And then it'll be all the way up in the north side near O'Hare, where I'm talking about the Friday show. And Saturday more in the city on Irving Park Road at Fuller's Pub. It's going to be Saturday. And then Sunday is going to be, then we're 4th of July weekend. I'm going to probably hit an open mic on the 4th of July. There's the Monday night open mic. I already checked with him. He says they're going to do it. So it's at one of the places that we're going to be playing later in the tour. So lots going on, and just thought I'd kind of fill you in a little bit as we go with Chicago, what the feel of this town is and how it's organized. And obviously, I've lived most of my life here. I've been in Houston for the last 22 years, believe it or not. And I know quite a bit about Houston as well, but those are my two homes. You know, sometimes it's good to have when you're somebody that travels a bunch, and it seems like I'm traveling more and more as I get older. Who's who to thunk it? But anyway, I'm going to check out in there, probably get online a little bit and say hi to some folks online and continue this stream. Maybe later tonight, maybe tomorrow morning. We'll see how things go.
Saturdays on the road. Saturdays on the road.